Yo, what's up YouTube? Every boy once dreamed about being the strongest boy they ever could be. And today I'm going to find out what my PRs are in a powerlifting style of training. So we'll be trying a bench, a squat and a deadlift, just like the powerlifters do, to see where my limits are. But before we can start with the lifting part, let's do some warming up, because in the past, when I was watching YouTube videos, a guy told me before you deadlift that just using a band and warming up like this would actually help with improving your deadlift strength. I've actually never tried it before, but it's at least worth trying at least once. But the weird part about this is I'm actually feeling a lot of strain in my shoulders that I normally should not have, but that's why we're warming up at least. Now we're done with this band. We're just going to do some static stretching before we start with that heavy lifts. So now that we're warmed up, we're going to start with a squat. I'm thinking about starting with 120. If that goes well, we go to 160. And if the 160 goes well, I'm going to try my all-time PR of 180 back. But I'm not sure if I can get that high because I haven't squatted in like 2 months. So it's actually stupid to try this right now, but I want to see how strong I got this year before the real hard part of the cut starts. So now we got weight finally on. 120 should be easy, not sure, but let's just try it. In the past, this was my warming up weight. It actually felt really heavy, but let's just go higher and see what we can do. So I'm actually questioning myself, should I do the 140 or the 150? The 120 felt really heavy, but from the other side, I don't want to feel like a weak little bitch when I go home, when I realize that I couldn't lift the weights that I did 2 months ago. I know that it's normal when you're cutting that you're losing strength, but losing 60 kilos of strength is actually just a lot. So I think let's do the 150. To make it a little bit easier on myself and on my lower back, we're already going to use the belt. I didn't want to use it until the last set, but I think it's a smart option to just use it already. $150 went easy. Not sure if I had a proper depth. I will see it on the footage, but I think it was a proper depth for a squat. So I think upping the weight with another 20, so we do at least 170. Friendly reminder, don't forget your creatine. And now for the last set, 170. Not sure if I could make it, but I'd rather die than not try it. Sorry, I'm out of breath, but I think the 170 was clean, so I only lost like 10 kilos of strength. I can live with that, but next year the 200 needs to fly up. And that's all I can say about that, but let's do the bench press now, before we go to the favorite exercise, the deadlift. And now for the bench. The plan is to start with 70, because my normal starting weight would be 60 for 12 reps when I would train a bench. And then we will see if we can go higher or not, because my all-time PR is 105. But like most of the times I would stop doing exercise. I would stop doing an exercise like this. And I haven't benched in 2 months. I've been mostly doing upper chest work, so I'm actually thinking that my max would be 90, but why am I talking? Let's try it out. That went really easy, so let's go for 85, because I've been stuck on that weight for a couple of weeks before I quit doing it, so let's try it. So we're going to use the baby frisbees for this one, because I'm just not strong enough. But we first need to find them. And let's go to the second set. I'm not feeling fatigued whatsoever, so and this went pretty well, so let's be crazy. Let's try 100. But this is going to be one spectacular moment for me, because I've never had a 100 kilo bench on camera. But maybe it's the power of a heartbreak or the insane amount of pre-workout that I took, but this is actually going pretty well. I didn't think that I would pull this kind of weights when I lost like 7 kilos already. So this is a moment in my life where I'm actually really proud of myself, because I never gave up. I kept going even if I didn't want to come. So for once, in all those years that I'm doing this, I'm fucking proud of myself. In powerlifting standards, this would be a red flag, because I had like so much between my chest and the bar. But in standards of just a guy going to the gym, it was a valid lift. And I wanted to go deeper, but after seeing that one popular strongman tear his pec, I just didn't want to risk it, because I felt that it was pulling really hard on my pec. So I rather avoid injuries than try it to get it on camera. But now for the final lift, we're going to the deadlifts and the lift where I pulled the most weight on last year. And now for the deadlift. I have been deadlifting for a half a year now. Last week I couldn't pull the 140. My max is 210, so you can see a big difference there. But I've took a rest of I think 8 days, so it should be possible to get a 180, 190, maybe even 200. I'm going to put 140 on the bar, do one quick rep, and we'll see how much strength that I have in stock to complete those lifts. And one quick tip when doing these, get yourself a larger plate like here, so you can put other 20s that are smaller, easier on it. Just like that, you don't need extra stuff like that one thing that you use to pick the weights up to get a new plate on it. And for the deadlifts, I'm going to use the belt on the 3 lifts. I know I can pull this without, but I'm not going to risk it. That one went really smooth, so I think I'm going to up it with 40. Now we got 140, so we'll try the 180s. And it's actually just really weird that all the weights go up so easily. What? So, just like my cameraman told me, I think a heartbreak gives you superpowers. And I know what you're thinking, jumping up with 40 kilos is a lot, but it's do or die for me. I think I can pull it. If I can't, then it's like that. But I'm feeling pretty confident after those 2 lifts. So it took like 2 minutes of rest. I think it should be possible, but if I start talking about it and thinking, it just wouldn't work. So let's just do the lift. So just watch the footage because my back didn't feel all right when I was pulling it up. So I already saw that I had that little arc, but I think if I up it with 10 each side, so we get 200, and I focus a little bit more on a straight back, that it should be a clean lift. But there's only one way to find it out, and that's by trying it. No. So, quick review about today. My bench strength is around the same strength as it was last year. My squat strength, still the same, so I'm happy about that. But we lost some strength on the deadlift, like you saw on the last lift. So I think it was a really good job. Even while cutting, I still can pull this amount of weight. So I think it was a good test to do this today, to see what a cut can do with the strength of some people. Because you lose some strength, 100%, but even while losing 7 kilos, it's actually not that much strength. So that's the one thing you could learn from this video. Even while cutting, you will lose strength, but not that much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you guys next week.